Antarctica stands apart from every other landmass on our planet. It is a world of its own, a vast white desert at the bottom of the globe. Think about it. Every other continent is carved up by borders, claimed by nations and populated by citizens, but not Antarctica. No single country owns this immense wilderness of ice. It is a continent without a flag, without a government, and without permanent residence. This unique status makes it a place of pure science, exploration, and for many, a source of profound mystery. It's governed by something called the Antarctic Treaty, an international agreement that sets it aside for peaceful purposes and scientific investigation. It's a global common ground, a concept that feels almost alien in our modern divided world. So why does no one lay claim to this frozen frontier? The simple answer is that it is just too extreme. The continent is incredibly remote, locked away by treacherous seas and buried under miles of solid ice. The temperatures are the coldest on Earth, making survival a constant battle against the elements. For centuries it was considered a worthless wasteland, too difficult and too expensive to conquer or colonize. But some people believe there's more to the story. They wonder if the official reasons are just a smokescreen. Perhaps the true reason Antarctica remains off-limits is not because of the cold, but because of what might be hidden beneath its impenetrable frozen surface. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, is a remarkable piece of international diplomacy. It ensures that the continent is used only for peace and science. Military activity is banned, and so is mining. This agreement has held for over 60 years, preserving Antarctica as a pristine natural laboratory. Scientists from all over the world work together at research stations, studying everything from climate change to the secrets of the universe. Yet this very treaty, designed to promote transparency, also fuels a sense of intrigue. By making the continent a restricted zone for ordinary people, it creates an environment where stories and legends can thrive, far from the prying eyes of the public. For those of us who chase the unknown, Antarctica represents the ultimate destination. It's one of the last truly unexplored places on Earth. While satellites have mapped its surface, we know surprisingly little about what lies beneath the ice cap. Entire mountain ranges and vast subglacial lakes are hidden from view, ecosystems that have been isolated for millions of years. Could ancient artifacts, lost civilizations, or even undiscovered forms of life be waiting there? The sheer possibility is what draws explorers and storytellers to its shores. The continent's official status as a land of science only adds to the allure, making us wonder what secrets the world's governments might be keeping under wraps. Among the many legends of Antarctica, one name stands out above all others: Admiral Richard E. Byrd. He was a true American hero, a pioneering aviator and a decorated naval officer. In 1926, he became one of the first to fly over the North Pole, and his thirst for adventure soon turned him toward the opposite end of the planet. He led multiple expeditions to Antarctica, mapping vast new territories and establishing American bases. But it's his massive 1946 to 1947 expedition, codenamed Operation High Jump, that has become the stuff of legend. It was the largest Antarctic expedition ever assembled, involving thousands of men, an aircraft carrier, and a fleet of ships. The official purpose of Operation High Jump was scientific. The mission was designed to train personnel and test equipment in frigid conditions, as well as to consolidate American claims in the region. It was a massive undertaking, planned to last for 6 to 8 months. However, the expedition was cut short. After only about 8 weeks, Admiral Byrd and his fleet abruptly packed up and sailed for home, several months ahead of schedule. The official reports cited worsening weather and the harsh onset of the Antarctic winter. But for many, this explanation never quite added up. Why would such a well-equipped and massive operation retreat so quickly? Rumors began to swirl almost immediately. Whispers among the crew and cryptic comments from Byrd himself suggested that something unexpected had happened. Some stories claimed the expedition encountered mysterious flying objects that moved with incredible speed and agility. These unidentified craft were said to have engaged with the expedition's planes, leading to losses of equipment and personnel. Of course, there is no official record of such an event, and it remains firmly in the realm of speculation. But the story took hold, planting the seed of a much bigger mystery. What could have possibly been powerful enough to force a retreat of the United States Navy? The puzzle of Operation High Jump deepens when you consider the context of the time. The world was just emerging from World War II, and geopolitical tensions were high. Some theories suggest the expedition was not scientific at all, but a military operation to locate and destroy a secret Nazi base hidden in the ice. Proponents of this idea point to German interest in Antarctica before the war, specifically an expedition they sent in 1938. Did the Nazis build a secret refuge, a Neuschwabenland, where they continued their work? While it sounds like something out of a pulp novel, the idea has persisted for decades, adding another layer of intrigue to Byrd's hasty departure. The most incredible part of this story comes from a source that is itself shrouded in mystery, a secret diary allegedly written by Admiral Byrd. This document, which supposedly surfaced years after his death, tells a tale that is far more fantastic than any secret military base. It describes an event that Byrd claimed he kept hidden at the behest of the government. According to this diary, during a flight over the South Pole, Byrd discovered something impossible. He flew into a vast green valley hidden within the ice. The air grew warm and he saw lush vegetation, flowing rivers and animals that resembled mammoths grazing in the fields. It was a lost world, a pocket of warmth in the coldest place on Earth. As his journey continued, the diary claims that Byrd's plane was taken under control by an unseen force. He was guided to a gentle landing near a shimmering crystalline city. There he was met by beings who were tall, blonde, and possessed an aura of immense wisdom and peace. These beings, who called themselves the Ariani, revealed that they lived in a vast subterranean world called Agartha. They had been watching humanity for a long time, concerned by our development of atomic weapons and our tendency toward self-destruction. This encounter was not an accident. They had brought him there to deliver a message to the surface world. The message from these inner Earth beings was both a greeting and a dire warning. They explained that they had interfered with humanity before, but our civilization had always misinterpreted their intentions, treating their guardians as gods or demons. Now, with the advent of the nuclear age, the stakes were higher than ever. They told Byrd that humanity was on a path to total annihilation, and that if we did not renounce our weapons and our wars, we would destroy our planet. They had chosen him, a man of impeccable character and standing in the surface world, to carry this urgent plea for peace and wisdom back to our leaders. After this incredible meeting, Byrd was guided back to his airplane and returned through the same opening in the pole, back to the frozen reality of Antarctica. The diary entry concludes with his profound sense of duty and his frustration, as he was ordered by his superiors to remain silent about his discovery. He wrote of the burden of this knowledge, knowing that humanity was in grave danger but being powerless to share the warning he had been given. The diary paints a picture of a man torn between his military orders and his moral obligation to the future of the human race, a secret he supposedly carried to his grave. So, what are we to make of this incredible story? Is the secret diary of Admiral Byrd a genuine, suppressed account of one of the most important discoveries in human history? Or is it a clever and compelling work of fiction, a modern myth born from our fascination with the unknown? The truth is, we simply do not know. The diary's origins are murky, and there is no official confirmation of its existence or authenticity. Mainstream historians and Byrd's own biographers dismiss it as a hoax, pointing out that his official logs and public statements contain nothing of the sort. They argue it was likely created decades later, blending real events with popular UFO and hollow Earth theories. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the legend of Byrd's encounter endures. It continues to capture the imagination of millions around the world because it speaks to a deep-seated desire for wonder. In a world that often feels fully mapped and explained, the idea of a hidden world beneath the ice is incredibly powerful. It suggests that there are still grand secrets left to uncover, and that our understanding of the planet is far from complete. Believers in the story point to the abrupt end of Operation High Jump and Byrd's own cryptic interviews as indirect proof that something extraordinary happened, something the public was never meant to know. Today, Antarctica remains a land of secrets, protected by both ice and international law. Scientists continue their work at remote outposts, drilling deep into the ice cores to read the history of our planet's climate. They explore subglacial lakes like Lake Vostok, which have been sealed off from the outside world for millions of years, searching for unique forms of microbial life. Each new discovery, however small, reminds us of how much we still have to learn about this continent. And with every finding, the question lingers: what else is down there? Are the secrets purely scientific, or could there be something more? Ultimately, the story of Admiral Byrd and his mysterious journey forces us to ask what we believe. Do we trust the official records and scientific consensus, or do we allow for the possibility that there are truths hidden from us? Antarctica is the perfect canvas for such questions. It is vast, empty, and remote enough to hold any secret imaginable. Whether it hides a lost world, ancient aliens, or simply the unwritten history of our own planet, one thing is certain. The great white continent at the bottom of the world will continue to guard its mysteries, challenging us to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep wondering what lies beneath the ice.